least surprising bit of breaking news of all time. LA Clippers star Kawhi Leonard expected to be sidelined for an indefinite amount of time to start the NBA season as he rehabilitates the inflammation in his right knee. League sources tell Shams and Om Youngmasuk, who covers the NBA for ESPN. Remember, Kawhi didn't play in the Olympics because of this inflammation. So this has been going on for a long time for Kawhi Leonard. And I mean, it's silly trying to guess when he'll be back. No one knows. My guess would be, I don't think he's playing this season, but that's a total guess on my part. And I think Femi, like last we had looked, which was recently, the win total market had been pulled down for the Clippers over at BetMGM. I don't know if it's back up yet. I looked and it wasn't. Maybe you have it on your screen. It's not. I mean, this is going to be like James Harden, Houston level usage here. How are they even going to be halfway good this season?
Now, I'm more optimistic about the Clippers' chances than like what the market, I'm anticipating the market has. Because like, what is this going to be? Like low 30s or so, like 34, 33. I'm guessing with the win total without Kawhi Leonard. Maybe I could be completely dead wrong, but I think it's going to be much, much lower than it was with Kawhi Leonard, at least thinking that he could play 55, 60 games. James Harden, really good regular season performer. Like this is what he's built for, is October through March. Like this is when James Harden shines. And the Clippers have also been used to playing without Kawhi Leonard. This isn't like, oh, Steph Curry's out for an indefinite amount of time for the Warriors, or it's LeBron that's out for an indefinite amount of time for the Lakers. This dude he's missed like half of the games in his Clippers tenure. Like they know what it takes, and Ty Lue's a good enough coach, and there's enough veterans on that team to where I think that like it's going to be gross, and you're probably not going to want to do it, but playing the Clippers regular season win total over whatever that number gets posted at is where the value lies with this, because Kawhi, as great as he is, has missed so much time that this team, I think, is just used to not having him on the court. And this is just another day that ends in Y with Kawhi Leonard, unfortunately, which is like a Hall of Fame career, but this is what it is. He has degenerative knees, and his knee's never going to get better. So he's just going to get $1 kajillion and play like 25 games a year. But I think that I would actually zig when the market zags and actually go over the win total on the LA Clippers.
Yeah, and I'm curious what it's going to be when it opens back up, because in the absence of Kawhi Leonard, it's going to be a ton of James Harden. Again, like Houston-level James Harden usage, I would guess, given that Kawhi and obviously Paul George is now in Philadelphia with the Sixers. It's Ivica Zubac, Norman Powell. Like, this roster's not very good. I mean, like, not that good, Kevin Porter is on this team now, and obviously, like, heinous... I mean, a horrible human being, but someone who at least is like decent at the game of basketball. You would think he's going to get opportunities here. This is not me saying like he's a good guy. I'm rooting for him. Like heinous accusations against him with Houston, but a pretty good basketball player in his time with the Rock. Just curious how this is going to go for the Clippers here at the start of the season. Well, I think the LA Clippers are not excited right now, although maybe they saw this coming because everybody did. We have to start here, unfortunately, with what year is it? Kawhi Leonard sidelined indefinitely with inflammation in his right knee. We don't know if he's going to play this year, when he would potentially come back. And I joked, Matt, this is going to be Houston-level usage for James Harden to at least start the season for the Clippers. Win total down for the LA Clippers. It was not going to be a high win total to begin with, in the 30s for the LA Clippers. How do you handicap the Clippers coming forward this season without Kawhi for an indefinite period of time? This could be game by game. This could be win total, anywhere you want to take it with the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably going to approach a point where they're going to be so hammered on by everyone. The sentiment against this team is as strong as you're going to find against any team that isn't outright tanking this season. Like, everyone's just like, Harden doing the Harden thing? Ugh. Look at this roster. And like, I was down on him. Win total opened in the summer at 42.5, a laughable number that was immediately just hammered into oblivion on the under. But now we're like starting to hit the point where if off of today's news, this gets hit again, and we start seeing 35.5s in the market, I want to see how low this goes. Because if we start seeing 35.5, 34.5 in the market, I'm going to have to start looking at an over. Harden is not 2017 Harden. He's also still really good. And he has an opportunity here to just do his thing. And if you just tell James Harden, hey, we just need you to run high pick and roll and get through the season, and we'll pay you, tens of millions of dollars. Harden's like, cool, no problem. I'm totally happy with that. He's vowed to be aggressive. I think that'll happen. Yeah, exactly. As far as Kawhi, it's like, well, he's out indefinitely. His entire career has been indefinite since 2017. Let's be totally honest. Like, every night it's indefinite. And so I don't necessarily see a lot of change here. Like, we knew that it was likely that he was like, if you told me back in August, hey, Kawhi is going to miss the start of the season. I've been like, oh, all right, that makes sense. No surprise there. So I don't see any change here necessarily to like a season outlook on them. I'm not excited to bet an over. I'm not looking for them to do world beater things. But if the market continues to overreact, I think I'm probably going to have to start looking at playing back the other way.
We'll talk more about them, obviously, as we move towards Tuesday, as the season starts, and perhaps to start next hour. We'll be joined by Matt Moore from the Action Network. Been a while since we've had Matt on the show. He joins us coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern here on You Better You Bet on this tremendous Thursday. So we talked about the Clippers. Femi, let's get to a couple of our favorite win total over and unders here for the season, with the acknowledgement that all of our award bets and playoff predictions will come next week on the show, Monday and Tuesday ahead of the NBA season opener on Tuesday night. So why don't you go first, and we'll do a little zigzag here. You go first, your favorite over or under win total bet in the NBA.
I'll go with my favorite over, and this one I think is going to be the team that is one of the defining units, at least offensively, in the NBA this season, and that's the Indiana Pacers. I'm going to go over 46.5 on the Pacers. It's a young team. Rick Carlisle has their full attention. Like, he's a really, really good coach, especially in the regular season. Tyrese Halliburton, prior to the injuries last year, and that's probably the only concern with this win total for me, is if Halliburton gets like another injury. But if he stays healthy, how is this team not getting to like 48, 49 wins, especially when like the other teams in the Eastern Conference, like the Boston Celtics are great. They could probably roll out of bed and win 60 games. And that's where they're priced out in terms of their win total. But Philly, are they going to be gunning for it in the regular season? Milwaukee with like Giannis and like Middleton's already banged up. What does Lillard have left in the tank? There's so many of these Eastern Conference contenders that I don't think have their eyes set on the kind of like the seeding purposes of it all. And I could see Indiana being that team that levels up this season behind Tyrese Halliburton, that levels up to maybe like a first team all NBA type of season. Like, he's that good of a player, heliocentric kind of guy. I think that this young team takes another step forward. Pacers over 46.5, favorite over bet in terms of NBA win totals.
All right, you're doing this again here. With you had the Schadenfreude yesterday. You had like some other big word. Now, like define heliocentric for the audience, in case they don't know it, in case they haven't studied Copernicus.
The heliocentric, it's like the do everything player that like the whole system revolves around them. And like when you watch
it means the world revolves around them. Yes. Is what it means. You don't even know what it means when you're using it.
It does. I was describing it. What do you mean? I don't know what it means.
It was okay.
I was like the whole system revolves around them.
How about Tyrese Halliburton's original team?
Ooh.
Also, like I hate the Pacers as a Knicks fan.
You should.
And the only reason they won that series is because our entire team got hurt. But that's a story for another time. Oh man, that's the first. Like, my daughter was born when the Knicks were like at the start of the playoff run, and so when they lost to the Pacers, I was like really pissed. Was it Mother's Day? They lost that Game 7 on a Sunday, and I remember watching with like my daughter, and I was really pissed. But then I was like, oh, like my daughter is like really cute, and like this is really great, and I stopped caring that much. And now I'm thinking about it again.
Got over that.
Yeah, but now I'm getting mad. Now I'm thinking about it, and I'm getting upset. Nick's getting upset. Tyrese Halliburton's original team, the Sacramento Kings. I don't think the Kings can win the NBA championship, obviously. This is not like, hey, I like the Kings to make the Western Conference final. But did you know this, Femi? 2 years ago, do you remember who won NBA Clutch Player of the Year?
Yes, De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox. Do you remember who was the runner-up last year to Clutch Player of the Year?
DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan. And when DeMar DeRozan shoots, what happens?
It goes in.
That's right. We have never done that on the show before, so I'm happy that you got, when he shoots, it goes in. I
love that line.
Also, and DeMar DeRozan's been like, and Kendrick Lamar loves DeMar DeRozan, right?
Yep. 100%. He was at the pop-out show and everything, you know?
That's right. Yes, we like that. Yep. That's like 19 times. Also, the Raptors are going to suck this year. DeMar DeRozan makes a ton of shots in the clutch. De'Aaron Fox makes a ton of shots in the clutch. And Monk was a pretty good show on USA, better basketball player for the Sacramento Kings. I think the Kings might win 50 games this year. Like, in the clutch, like, you have guys that get buckets. Now, they're going to lose in the playoffs, but I love Sacramento this year. Kings over 46.5. Femi, I'll give you two other quick ones for now. I like the Cavs over 48.5. They won 48 games last year, and that's with the Donovan Mitchell contract uncertainty. And with J.B. Bickerstaff at head coach, they upgraded big time with Kenny Atkinson. Cavs, I think, hit 50 wins this year, over 48.5. And I'm looking to fade Doc Rivers and an old Milwaukee Bucks team. I love Giannis, but I don't love Doc Rivers. Bucks under 50.5, Femi.
I like that a lot. Yeah, and that's part of my handicap for the Pacers. So like teams like Milwaukee, Philadelphia, which that's another favorite of mine, like under 50.5. We're already seeing Embiid and Paul George with knee issues. Joel Embiid reportedly is not going to play in back-to-backs this season. Maxi's outstanding, and I actually love Maxi as a player. Like he seems like he's joyful, awesome dude, has like a motor that's 1,000,000 miles per hour. But I don't know if he can carry this thing by himself with expecting like Paul George and Joel Embiid to miss significant time all throughout the season. Sixers under 50.5, I think, is a play for me. Like they'll get to the playoffs. They're focused on keeping Embiid healthy for the playoffs. They're not worried about the regular season. They'll just make sure they get in, and then they'll go from there.
Pacers is your favorite of the ones you referenced?
Yep, Pacers over 46.5.
Kings over 46.5 is mine. That is the Tyrese Halliburton, Domantas Sabonis special there.
Yeah.
Kings and Pacers for
Worked
me
out for everyone.
and Femi.